Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin here, middle of the day update. We are still moving sideways, and yes, again, it starts to get a bit boring. That's always what happens after such a rally, but that's fine because that is essentially what we want to see. I did explain it in the Ethereum video already. We want to see at this stage boring sideways action. Yeah, what we don't want to see is a crash to the downside. We want to see, to confirm the wave count here that we're leaning to, the white wave count here, the breakout count. I'm leaning towards it as long as 28.7k is holding. That's the level when Elliott Wave tells us, okay, something different is going on. We have to change our view here. As long as we are following that, that's fine. And the sideways action that we see at the moment makes it fairly likely, at least, that we're going to hold support. I mean, we have to treat support anyway as that, as long as it's holding. But of course, there is not really a way to definitely say it will hold or not. However, from experience, I can tell you that if we see in a wave 4 sideways action, boring movement, it is often a wave 4, okay? And that's exactly what we want to see at this stage, because we don't want to see a sharp pullback here that would go below 28.7k. The wave 4 is, I don't want to say it's limited to the 50% retracement of the third wave, which is 28.7k, but it's beyond that. It just is then too deep for a wave 4 to be reliable. So ideally, price either goes up from here or goes a little lower, but within the yellow support area and then rallies. I think it's best to sort of summarize it in a way that, okay, at the moment, another high can be reasonably expected as long as we're holding 28.7k. And at the moment, it looks likely it's going to hold, because we see very corrective and boring sideways action, which is just typically representative of a wave 4. However, in the very short term, I would like to see a little bit of a deeper pullback to give us a clearer wave 4. It is quite shallow at the moment, but we fulfilled the minimum expectations for the wave 4. But it's not a problem that it's shallow if it has a decent length time-wise, okay? So all I wanted, and you will remember I said that in the last video, I wanted to see a more decent wave 4, healthy wave 4, either longer time-wise or a little deeper, because if it's not healthy, it could break down in the end. I know it's a bit strange and a bit counterintuitive, but that's what it typically is. You want to see a healthy pullback in an uptrend. Otherwise, it just gets exhausted too quickly, and these pullbacks are just healthy, and they will prevent the chart from getting exhausted too quickly. Yeah, they help to bring the indicators down, things like that. Volume is coming down nicely because it's a correction. So all of that is what we typically want to see. On the 1 hour chart now, you could even use, sometimes it can be useful to use a bit of a trend line on the volume indicator down here to indicate, okay, when we get a breakout of the volume, that could be an indication that the price is actually starting to rally. At the moment, I have no indication that the wave 5 has started. Yeah, so if the wave 5 starts, I would like to see it in the maybe in the 32k area. We looked at possible targets also in the previous video, but I think they are sort of the 32k area would be likely. All it needs to do really is to go higher in 5 waves and break above the third wave high at 30,825. So yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit more up and down movement. Maybe this is going to take place also throughout Saturday. It would then be quite a long wave 4, but nothing invalid. I would also pay attention to the trend line here. Again, it's not super reliable because we really only have one touch point down here, but we have a very well-defined trend line here on the left-hand side, yeah, the upper boundary line. And if you draw a parallel line, sometimes price is going to react to it. It's not super reliable. I wouldn't be surprised if that breaks. Don't pay too much attention to this trend line, but it's still there for info. Yeah, there is not much more to add at this stage about Bitcoin. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.